What time is it?
It's big slappy time.
Ho, 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 happy harvest.
Oh, Father Thanksgiving is here. Hello, Father Thanks.
Hello.
Welcome.
No, Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate that anymore.
Lord, no, but we've combined the holiday season from Halloween
Yes.
to the harvest.
One big super holiday.
Yes, to Father Christmas.
I wanted to keep our listeners on the hook, begging for more. I wanted to say that for the holidays, the December holidays, that I think we should do a chair reveal. Because we talked about the chairs early on, how ugly they are.
Sure.
We can just, burn everyone's eyes out before 2026.
Yeah, and we can do a little teaser because you've got to set this stage, to set the scene here, you've got a full FDR look going today.
I am under
This is a
blanket.
fireside chat vibe.
Yeah, but this is like modern FDR because this blanket's electric.
Imagine if he had an electric blanket, he might have lived another term.
Oh, interesting.
He might have done 9 terms under an
9
electric
terms.
blanket.
Yeah, he had an extra term, didn't he, FDR?
An extra few.
They brought him back.
He kept bringing him back. After him, that's when they said
They did the fireside
they did
chats.
the limits after. Yeah, they did great chats.
I want to give a shout out to my dear friend Randy, who got me this blanket, and I think it's maybe the best gift I've ever gotten. Not a day has gone by since I received this that I have not been beneath this blanket.
No, you are cold-blooded. It's good for you.
Cold-blooded, check it and see.
Got a fever of 93.
Yeah, of 73.
Yeah.
I'm just out on a rock sunning myself.
Love that for you.
Thank you. You were under this yesterday, too,
I got a chill.
lest we forget.
I
Yeah,
got a
it's
chill.
rare that
But
you
it
get it.
wasn't long because I get too toasty.
Then you got too hot. Well, there's settings.
Now,
settings.
you know what? I can't help but feel that this conversation now feels like we're in the pods because of what we watched last night.
Yes. Okay. For the listeners, Murph and I started season 9 of Love is Blind.
Yes.
And last night, and I don't, it's the kind of thing where it's like I feel like I'm drunk, but I'm not because it's so dementia inducing.
It is. Yeah. The way
we watched
it's
2 hours.
edited. Yes.
Over 2 hours, 2
That's
episodes. And I don't think that I recall much of it.
No. Now, what I do appreciate about it that's better than when you stream a lot of these reality dating shows, ones that were network shows that have gone to onto the streamers, is that really feels like a
when
dementia.
they have the
because,
commercial break.
Yes, the commercial break, like a Bachelor, for example.
Because they repeat what they just said.
Yes.
Yeah. And
treating
feel
you
insane.
as if they just plied you with advertisements.
Where they're like, coming up, like,
Yes.
where's my coffee? And then you come back and it's like, where's
my coffee?
And
all
then
you
they're
hear the whole
like, yeah,
the
after the
recap
break.
at the beginning of the ep, they'll show you the sexy scenes, like the "Where's my coffee"
Right.
scene, and then it'll just repeat throughout.
And then they'll be like, the follow up to where's my coffee?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you
it
start
usually
feeling-
takes like you won't find out where the coffee is by the end of that episode.
I don't think you ever find out.
You never do. That's how
it's
they
about
keep
the
you coming
journey,
back.
not the destination.
Right.
So Love is Blind, real dumb.
Yeah, it is. I've watched a few and then I ducked out and then I came back for a few.
You did miss some seasons.
Yeah, now they've reached season 9 is now literally having a woman who's going blind, one of the contestants.
Yeah, which I think it's impressive they made it 9 seasons before they
Before pulling those
hit the
kind of
metaphor
shenanigans.
so hard on the head. That
Yeah, I imagine the
shattered.
Lachey's probably wanted to pull the trigger sooner on that, but they said, let's wait.
Yeah, Nick's like, I have ideas.
Yeah.
Is that Nick Lachey?
It's Nicholas.
Okay, because there's a brother Lachey too. For some reason, Nick
The
didn't
brothers
feel
Lachey.
They were both in the band, 98 Degrees.
That's correct. Yes, and he was...
That is correct.
He made his real bones, though, not 98 Degrees. He made his bones with Jessica Simpson.
Well, he boned
Correct?
Jessica Simpson.
Yes.
They were married and in love.
Right.
What was their
They had a reality show.
called?
It was called The Honeymooners. No, it was something like that.
Yeah, it had a name.
That show had a name.
I think the big moment was that she thought that the chicken of the sea
my.
was chicken.
The recap.
Did you know I was gonna?
I knew, because what else does anyone know about
Well,
that show?
was the coming up.
Coming up.
Chicken of the sea. It's not chicken.
That was
what
the
you
Where's
just
My
saw.
Coffee?
It's not chicken.
And we never-
Last time, It's not chicken.
We never found out if it was, in fact, chicken or tuna or what it was. What was in that can?
We do know.
We
because
never
that's
found
a
out.
brand
It was a
of
teaser
tuna.
that spread across seasons.
Okay.
Anyhow, they split because they couldn't figure out tuna, what tuna was. And then that broke up their marriage. And then he married Vanessa Lachey.
Yeah.
Who, nay, Lachey. No, not nay Lachey.
Manila? Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah. Anyhow, those two are now AI holograms that show up at the beginning of each season, and then they never show up again.
They're both very weird. She does like an intense thing where she's like trying to express herself through the Botox.
Yes.
And then he's like dumb as a rock.
Yes.
And they keep cutting to him and he goes, yeah. Or no.
It really does feel like they say at the end of the season, they're like, Nick, we need you back. We need you to give some reactions here because you didn't seem to be present at all while these people were in the room talking.
Shout out an emotion.
Yeah.
And he goes, huh. And then they just cut to that every once in a while to be like, he's still with us.
Sure. And they do him dirty sometimes. They'll do one that's not really like
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, or it's kind of an inappropriate reaction.
Yeah, someone's like crying about trauma and he's like smiling and eating a fern. Yeah, there's some weird cuts.
Nibbling on a fern.
The blanket that I'm under though reminds me, nobody remembers this, but you may. I think we watched a season together. There was a season where they were like pushing these blankets.
In Love is Blind.
Yes.
No, I do remember.
And we kept saying we felt like the Lachey's had like stock or MLM situation with the blankets because every time they cut to a pod, they'd be like, I'm in my blanket.
Yes,
and they
it was
all
like
had
a
the
Snuggie,
same...
but it wasn't a Snuggie.
Yeah.
But it was like they were pushing these blankets hard.
Yes. And
yes, everyone in the house, everyone in the pods would go into a pod holding one of these blankets.
I feel like they didn't turn the heat on wherever they were.
Right.
So that people were constantly
forced to use these. And I think we looked it up, and I think it's like the other Lachey brother. Had like an Etsy or something?
I don't. I want this to be true, but speaking of true, I had some corrections about last episode.
Oh my. Correct.
I always listen back. Love the sound of my own voice.
It's true.
Voice for radio. And I always want to make corrections, but usually they're not so egregious that I feel the need to.
Okay, so you fact-checked our last episode.
Well, I fact-checked, as much as you can without looking anything up.
Sure. So this is...
You know what I mean? Like, we just misspoke.
It's a second... This is a second go-around that may also need to be fact-checked.
Oh, there's plenty of errors that we're never going to address because we don't know.
Sure.
We're mistaken.
We are. We're just straight up mistaken.
May I?
Yes, please.
Okay, we kept saying it was Putin's horse, but it's Glenn's horse.
Okay, so last episode we were talking about the Bubba, the Bubba emails, which now feel like they're a lifetime ago.
Oh yeah, people are like, what was that?
Yeah, since then MTG has left. They're doing.
She's going to
Congress
run.
voted to release, but of course we know they're not really going to release. It'll be all redacted, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, speaking of that, people are frothing at the mouth. I don't know if we told the listeners about the Epstein Files Now sign on our neighbor's.
Yes, the hand-painted homemade large sign that says Epstein Files Now. He had
nail gunned it to the side of the building, but now he's moved it towards the street, and I feel like his excitement is being shown
foregrounded
with how close it's getting to the street.
You're right. That's right.
I thought my mirror hit the sign last time I was trying to get
when
down
it makes to the middle of the
road
road is when we will finally get those files.
Whatever they are.
Yeah, it needs to get to the middle of the street.
He's pumped,
stop traffic.
Though. It's like attached to the front of the driveway.
Yeah,
now.
I think he feels like he's had enough of a hand in it. He was like, this sign was the straw that broke Congress's back.
That's true.
To finally.
Wow. I'm praying for him.
I am too. Bless him.
Please bless him. Also, okay.
So
Glenn's
what are the
horse.
facts checks?
Okay, it was Glenn's horse. Also, I kept being like, they were partying in St. Peter's.
Sorry. It was Ghislaine's horse named Bubba.
Yeah.
But where Putin comes in is he had the photos.
Well, and we were saying like he had taken the photos, but he obviously had them because of like a blackmail scheme. Like he was not involved in the dick sucking.
No.
Right.
He was not there for that party.
Yeah, I feel like we were having some fun with that. But I don't want to lose credibility in front of our...
No, of course not.
Our masses and masses of
our
listeners.
Masses, and also the, Yeah, we can't lose credibility at a time like this because
No,
we
facts
are the alt
matter.
media. That
Truth matters.
Truth matters.
Okay, next, you said the first time you voted, but when you were 18.
That's right.
I think you meant you were old enough to vote because as I recollect, the first time you ever voted was like in 2020.
Was in 2020. Now, I was a proud anarchist and still am, but I received... So when I turned 18, what I meant is, when I was of age to vote.
But you made it seem like you were
people in my life,
voting.
adults, family, friends, people were
We're going to lose credibility when people are looking up your voting records and they haven't begun.
It's true.
In 2000.
And that's true. No. They'll be like, what did he said he voted in 2000? Which if I did, I mean, I likely would have voted for Nader, I guess.
But you didn't.
I did not
you?
vote. No, I did not.
Did you or
vote.
did you not vote?
I did not until 2020. A dear friend reached out with an emotional plea, and we were living in Pennsylvania at the time.
Where your vote mattered.
Where the vote actually mattered. And they laid all this out for me, saying, like, wouldn't do this if you're in New York. Like, I haven't said this to my LA friend, but the fact that you're going to be in a huge swing state.
So an LA friend
in a swing
reached out.
county and said, please, this means a lot to me. I don't even need to get into the reasons or obviously who it was, but they said there was a reason. So you know what? I said at this point, if you're going to emotionally, and I was doing a pod at the time and some live streams where it was like dialed into that. So I had to be like, okay,
There was some stuff.
I'm going to vote
political,
publicly. I'm not, certainly wouldn't stump.
Publicly vote, yeah.
But for Biden in 2020. And Scranton Joe being
It's
a PA.
very funny, though, that the one person you voted for was Joe Biden.
Well, I know. And then I voted for him again. I also did vote. I wrote him in 2024. After he had dropped out and Kamala went, I said, you know what? I'm going to vote twice in my life. Two in a row for Biden.
It's going to be for Scranton Joe.
It'll be for Scranton Joe twice. And then I voted for him again, and that was it.
This is electric information.
The electric city.
Yeah, never before heard.
Anyhow,
I didn't
you
know
for
you
catching
wrote
that.
Biden in, so thanks for letting me in on that. I think I voted for Cornel West. And before you come at me, listeners, we're in a safely blue state. I invoked blue state privilege. And
Presidential
I
elections.
made my voice heard to no one, because if you don't hit a certain percentage, they don't even count the damn ass votes.
I know. And Cornell hasn't been, Cornell has
What
now
happened
dipped
to
out of the
Cornell?
public eye. Well, I mean, he's old, I feel like he's put in the work over the years. He had a tough campaign because he was going to be in the Green Party, then he was going to be in the Working Families.
Yeah, he had a messaging issue.
He had some messaging. I mean, also there's, zero chance he would ever, but
Right.
politically aligned, like I would say, I think I wrote in Biden.
Well, as we've said before on the pod, the lesser of evils gets us to the bottom of the shit barrel. So,
Yes. Also, Scranton Joe was the most cartoonish example of that because he basically was just a Republican for 40 years in his public life in Congress.
Right.
Very conservative guy in terms of even whatever. Then did a weird centrist turn.
Pro-segregation.
Yes.
Went hard at Anita Hill.
The drug
his
war,
record
he was a
is terrible.
champion of
Yes,
the drug,
the architect of the drug war.
And
failed. One of America's many failed wars.
The prison states. Big push
Loved
for...
incarceration.
Loved incarceration, loved war, So anyhow, he was a very funny one to then be like, that was the extreme to me of this lesser scenario where I was like in 2020. I mean, we went through the recap last time. We don't need to go through. But there's some corrections.
There's other stuff. There's more
corrections.
corrections. Well, the Iowa caucus.
The caucus.
Are we ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
This is
to
not
the
a
caucus.
correction because everything we said was correct. But we had said Buttigieg won. And what's funny is we ended up looking this up after the pod. And we were laughing because there was a lot of turmoil around the Shadow app that we already discussed. And then they finally realized that there had been some issues at play,
Yes.
but they never covered it in the media. So obviously what they were trying to do is just ruin any momentum Bernie could have had, because I basically think he won and they never even reported that. It's like deep in like a Wikipedia ass somewhere.
Yes. with a citation, that is true, so it's real.
I know, but the fact that they were never like this just in.
No, I know. I mean,
like we
lived
were
through that.
mistaken,
Yes.
the votes were mishandled, the primary, whatever. Like that's very odd.
It is very odd, and it's funny. This is why your Bernie bros or any third party. I mean, he's was trying to run as a Democrat. God bless him. But any third party, anyone other than the two establishment candidates, this is why we say people are so disenfranchised and just got black-pilled after that, is because then they turned around with the Stop the Steal movement, like the Blue MAGA, a lot of Dems flying off the handle about like voting and it's so important and the integrity and how dare you not do it. And I'm like, you just fucking sabotaged 2 cycles in a row. 2016 did him dirty. Those emails came out.
Russiagate, too, it comes into play because what the Dems were doing is when the Republicans won, they were saying there was Russian interference.
Yes.
So they were not believing the votes. But then when the Republicans don't believe the votes, they're like, these morons don't. It's very,
we
the
saw
hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy is
floweth.
off the charts. And it's black-pilled a whole generation. So congratulations, establishment corporate Dems. You done did it.
Yeah, done. And then I have one more correction, but I don't know what it means. So maybe this will ring a bell for you.
Sure.
It says Epstein estate, ?
Oh, no, I think what was funny is what goes unreported, except by, I think there's a few people on the case, of course, independent journalists, your Klippensteins, your Ryan Grimms.
Oh, Ken.
But people who are looking
Grimm.
at when people.
Did you mean Ryan Grimm?
Yeah, what'd I say? Grimms?
No, you said Ryan, but I was like, is he doing first or last?
Yes.
Anywho,
just, there's some people out there.
There's people.
Piecing stuff together. But as far as the mainstream narrative, what's also funny about the Epstein files now is you would want to say, well, from who, also to who?
Well, we already
because this
covered
idea
that.
of this. Well, but the reason I said the estate is because there is an estate who also has. There's a team of lawyers.
That is funny though, because I was kind of like, well, if Trump can release him, but he's in him. This is like very simple-minded,
Sure.
But I'm like, then obviously they're going to control what gets released. But you're right, there's like a third-party estate, which is very interesting.
Because when the Wall Street Journal does
leaking?
Who's leaking?
Somebody's leaking. Who's responsible? Yeah.
So the Epstein estate is just a fun thing that exists that also is doing some side leaks as needed.
That's fun.
It's fun. It's fun to have a little.
It's almost like having a third party.
Almost. I'm going to write in the Epstein estate next time I vote. The last time I vote will be for the Epstein estate.
What they stand for, but I like that they're having some autonomy outside of the two-party system.
Certainly.
Okay, we covered. Okay,
I like this as a segment, by the by. Maybe
we can call it in errata.
Call it what?
In errata.
In errata.
That's like Latin for like the error section.
In errata de vida, honey. Don't you know that I love you?
Just greased my damn seat. Beautiful. Back to Love is Blind.
Yes, dear.
We had a small argument in the car.
I mean, it got heated, yeah.
Yeah, we always say we don't talk. We did talk a little this morning.
This was the problem. We spoke.
We spoke
up too soon.
We spoke up too soon. You made a wild claim.
Let's when I finally settled on the claim, let me be clear about what my claim was.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
So for Love is Blind as a show, I've watched enough of these pods, especially in the beginning. I believe. You're already checking the clock.
Just let me check the clock without commenting on it. Sometimes I just I'm a data person.
You are.
Big data.
How are we on time?
We're at 20 minutes. That's great.
That's great. All right.
Actually, no, and we're cutting that first start. So we're probably at 17 minutes.
So let me vamp a bit here. Then.
I would like you to vamp. Don't comment on the time check.
So I for Love is Blind in the pods, I was saying that I could walk into those pods and I could, looking as I do, my 44-year-old husk of a tub, could walk in there and I could get 3 women to be fighting over me.
You said all of them.
I said all at first. I was being...
I know, it's hyperbole, but basically your claim was sight unseen.
As a liar and a sociopath.
Actor,
let's be clear,
sociopath, lying.
Yes.
That you could, and I said, even appealing to the power, the boss bitch,
From this season, yes.
And so I said, okay, you're making a wild claim. Mm-hmm. And I'm not questioning your acting, but to also be on your feet, impressing everybody, playing a million people at once. That's like Mrs. Doubtfire times 10. That's
right. But do you also, what's very common in this, and what I would definitely do, because this is a smart way to play, is of course the men being no, I'm listening. So the men will come in and be make sure to say, tell me about yourself. They're usually savvy enough to not just, in the early seasons, I remember some guys coming in, they just talk about themselves the whole time. And the other person's geez.
Well, they're always yeah, I bought my first house. They're doing these little
planting little
non-subtle
seeds, yes.
to be like, I'm rich.
But this, tell me about your, share your trauma. Tell me about your journey. Tell me about you.
So that I can weaponize it against you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So I would make sure to do that. So it does it does double fold. For some of these basic bitches.
Can I tell you, though, the test that you failed? Mm-hmm. I said, okay, give me one line about your wealth and your empire. Like doing what we were just saying, like sneaking that in there to impress like that one woman who's like a career, the successful lady.
And I pivoted.
And you said, this reminds me of my disabled father.
Who has passed, yes.
And I understand what you're doing. You're talking about something else, tugging at heartstrings, sharing trauma. But that was not, and it made me feel like you were buying time because you couldn't do the thing you said you could do.
But you didn't let me finish that story. It reminded me of that because his death was the inspiration for my third business that I've now sold. I've sold 3 businesses.
And what's the business?
The third one was an app that checks your glucose. Because,
so you're going back to diabetes.
Yes.
So
I'm
then
going back to the diabetes.
But I'm saying you're ripping off real storylines. I was asking you to create your own.
How common are diabetes?
You were saying I could, in the moment, play every single person on there.
Yeah.
And I was saying, okay, here's an opportunity. I'm going to give you a prompt. And I don't think you
this
really
was at 9
nailed the prompt.
This was what I hadn't had my.
It was 10.
I hadn't had my.
Ninth breve.
My breve, my caramel breve yet.
Right.
No, I think I'm not saying I wouldn't need to settle in and to really like do some work off the cuff like that. It was like, I think I
but
also
it's all
going to
be off the cuff.
And listen,
you can't handle the heat.
One power, you asked the first, someone coming to be like, explain your empire to me. I'd be like, whoa. Maybe I don't get that one. I said we get 3. I would get 3.
Okay, but it just became 3 in the car.
Because I'm being realistic.
In the car, you were saying you would make everybody pick you.
Yes.
Including all the men.
Just so you know,
I do not doubt your acting abilities, your improvisation skills.
Thank you.
Or your sociopathic tendencies. But I just was saying it's a tall order to be like, you could do all of it.
It is, but I think you know what I mean. Let's put it this way. I specifically thought of Love is Blind because I know my limitations now physically. There's no other show. There's no other dating show in the world.
You were like, I'd be the ugly guy. This was what you were kind of saying, but who could play whatever. And I was saying, no, you're not unattractive. You're just old as hell for that show.
But I think we both know that even the losers.
You were using shorthand to be like, Schlubtown.
The most unattractive dude on this season still like has a 6-pack or even if not a full 6-pack
or like 9 houses
or 9 houses, yes,
and you don't have a 6-pack or
a house, yes.
Well, I mean,
yes,
the bank owns our house.
That's right. Yeah, we're renting.
Let's be real.
We're renting, but
renting from the bank.
Not someone who's flipped 9 houses. Like these people are like, oh, I've got money in the bank. I've got the king size Tempur-Pedic.
There was an amazing line that you lost your shit at where the woman said her dream was to be a Section 8 landlord, which I don't want to like drag her too hard because I like her so far.
I do too. I love that couple.
But that is like that's
the best couple.
Funny thing to say because you're like, that is like not, it's smart, but it's not really coming from a good place.
No. Also, if
because you're getting government subsidies,
there's a lot
then
of
like take it. That's just like a funny loophole.
I think it's a funny
money.
loophole, and it's a thing where you think, oh, I see a hustle here, which is a hustle, but that usually leads to slumlordery as well.
Right,
typically.
And maybe she was saying, I want to do that, but not be a slumlord.
Sure,
but it was just a very funny
that,
utterance.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like one-liners in there where I was like, huh. But that's again why I would only put up against how. And not all these people. Some of them are in an impossible situation where they're making them say dumb shit to just keep the narrative moving. But then there's also like, I would say 9 out of 10 people on that show are pretty smooth upstairs. Pretty smooth in the brain.
Right. I liked when the guy said he had a chode.
That was
But everything else he said was awful.
And was that real? Was that like him being like, I'm just going to...
No, I think he's just like, I'm the funny one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I think that's like a terrible quality. Somebody who's not funny and thinks they're really funny.
That's brutal. That's maybe worse than someone just being boring and a nothing, I think.
Yeah.
Because it gets really annoying really fast.
Yeah. Let me see if I have anything else on the list. We don't. Oh, spoiler. We should have said that before about that show.
Oh yeah, there's a spoiler. There's a couple of chodes and Section 8 landlords.
Yeah,
in
sorry
this
about
season.
that.
Go ahead.
Aspiring Section 8 landlords,
Yes.
please.
And ironic chodes, I guess.
Well,
we'll see.
Okay. Do you have a list, or should I keep going?
Yeah. No, go ahead. I got a list.
Okay. Another thing was this week. I walked in on you watching a movie on your phone, which is a weird thing you do. And you were watching Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Thoughts, prayers. Yes. Don't Mess with the Zohan. It made me, it really just reminded me to go back and be like, because it was a clip. There was a clip from Sandler on Stern, like that was unearthed or something that reminded me, of course, of Sandler's, Zionist tendencies. But I wanted to go back and be like, this movie, which was about, I don't think a Mossad, but like an Israeli super soldier, basically, is the character Sandler's playing.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go back and be like,
IDF.
Yeah, IDF. And then Totoro, who we love, playing a Palestinian man.
Wow.
Of course, Rob Schneider playing a Palestinian, doing a,
right.
Brown face and some sort of outrageous. But that's standard for
the
for
cab
Schneider.
driver.
That's every Sandler movie for him. But then also, what's her name from the French-Canadian?
Emmanuelle, whatever. She was on
Entourage. She was like one of the girlfriends of a. Anyway, an Impossible 12, of course, with Sandler, paired with Sandler as his Palestinian love interest. So the whole idea of this.
Did they solve the Palestinian or Israeli
Yes,
conflict?
they did. I mean, it was a liberal Zionist dream is what it was, because they tried to do the we're showing both sides, and there was literally lines that were said out loud that were just like, well, everybody's crazy over there, and there's so much hate on both sides.
Yeah.
They both sides it to a cartoonish degree that ended with Kevin James at a hacky sack championship where the Israeli flag and the Palestinian flag were up like it was like a World Cup event, but for hacky
what did
sack.
they refer?
Kevin James was in the crowd as himself, waving as a celebrity.
But they didn't call it Palestine.
No, they then called it Lebanon. They wouldn't acknowledge the state. They acknowledged the Palestinian people.
But they wouldn't even acknowledge it as like a regional
Even as they literally had the flag up there. So there's a lot of funny things about that. Yeah. So obviously Adam Sandler's making this blockbuster. He He didn't write it though. I'm not trying to Apatow and Smigel.
Right.
wrote,
But I just want to point that out
duo.
because I love the Sandman.
I know you listen, we all love the Sandman. But this was particularly I think it was 2008 might be when this came out as well.
Housing crisis?
Yes, this was the beginning of that. They saw the housing crisis around the corner and they said, we need a distraction. We need to
get the Sandman out here. He had a big bush, right?
He had a huge bush. There were so many running gags. I mean, that's just typical Sandman fare. As far as the humor of it, potty humor, you could say.
Yeah, it's juvenile, but that's the fun of the Sandman.
That's the fun of the Sandman. That was not.
And then sometimes it has heart. Was there heart, or was it hard to find the heart?
The heart was at the end. All right, so here's how
propaganda.
fun this gets. At the end, the height of the heart was when Totoro, as a Palestinian terrorist,
he's great,
and Sandler as the Israeli hero, came together to fight a white supremacist gang who was trying to who was hired, the head of the white supremacist gang, Dave Matthews himself. That's right, the Dave Matthews of Dave Matthews
The one
Band.
who dumped the shit on everybody in Chicago?
Yes, the guy whose tour bus dumped poop everywhere. Yeah, that's right. That's
Under
him.
the table and dreaming?
Under the bridge and pooping, yes. This Dave Matthews, that Dave Matthews.
I'm the king of the castle. You're a dirty rascal.
So he was chanting that. He was literally cast. The actual Dave. So Mariah Carey's in the film as herself.
What?
Dave Matthews.
You buried the lead on this.
So
I'm over here talking about Sandler's bush.
I know. Mariah?
Well,
because there's so much. Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble. That Michael Buffer plays a Donald Trump character. There's a lot.
Okay. Okay.
He's trying to build a mall. He's trying to demolish the mainstream.
Do you think the film is important?
It is an important film. It is.
Really?
I do think it's important because I think I think it goes in the context. If someone were to come down and go, hey, what's going on here? What's up with Gaza? I would say we start, not in 1948. We don't need to go all the way back. We go to 2008. We watch Zohan. We start there.
50 years later.
Yes. This is just one line.
No, that's 60 years later.
I'll end on, Dave Matthews is a terrorist. So what they tried to do was, if Israel and Palestine can just come together and fight in the U.S.
That's weird, though, because Dave
white
Matthews
supremacist,
has been pretty
like
outspoken.
gang, led by Dave Matthews. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just talked over your whole thing. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying that was the way they tried to bring it together because it was at least cartoonishly
right.
Zionist enough that they were then at the end being like, but we still are.
We can all agree.
We can all agree. Two-state. If you come together, don't let hate get in your heart. And you're like, that's
It is funny, though, that it's like nostalgic that there was a time where they're like, we can all agree white supremacy is bad because we're not there now.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. We're not. Yes. No, we're nowhere near that.
It's slimed its way back into the mainstream.
And the last thing I want to end with Zohan really quick is your boy Swardson is in there.
I love Nick Swardson.
Of course, Nick Swardson is in there, and he's just plays like this goofy ass character. But there's a line in there that is so absurd that I want your eyes are getting big here.
I love him.
At the table, Zohan is fucking everyone, but Zohan is, and I mean fucking literally having sex with all the women.
He's making love to lots of people.
Making love to lots of women as he's doing their hair. But he also is fucking...
We should have said spoiler again. There's a lot of spoilers.
I mean, I think, again, we've gone over this. Spoiler alert for... what's the shelf on that? If 2008,
right.
Zohan...
Okay, what is that, 18 years ago?
Yeah. I think anything outside of 10 years feels very reasonable.
Yeah, I like the decade. But I think with reality TV, that's a lot shorter.
Yeah, 10 days.
Because people binge that 10 days.
10
okay,
days.
so we're fine.
Yes, 10 days from original air date on.
Okay, we're in the green zone for both.
Swardson says that he's a part of I don't need to give too much context because who cares? But Swardson is saying, I'm going to go out in the streets. I'm part of a community night watch.
Mm.
And he says that, and Sandler, as Zohan goes, what? The community...
Don't do the accent.
I know. Well, that was what Sandler should have been told as well. So I won't do a bad Sandler doing a bad Israeli accent. I will just say this. He says community night watch, and Sandler says, what? The communism tight crotch? Like he mishears him, and community night watch is communism tight crotch. That was
my
a throw.
nickname
I'm
in
like,
high
who
school.
wrote that joke? Like I can't see Smigel writing.
Do you
Sandler
think that
improvised
means anything?
I think there must be a hidden meaning. I've been stewing over it for a week now.
What is the real thing again?
The real thing is it's Nick Swardson saying he's part of a community night watch. Almost
community.
A la
community and
Sliwa,
community.
a la Guardians.
The Guardians.
The Guardians.
Right.
Yes, so he's just saying, I'll be out there in the streets tonight because I'm part of a community night watch. And Sandler's ears perk up and he goes, what? The communism tight crotch? And then the mother goes, no, it's community night. And they move on. But I'm like, why did he hear community night watch as communism tight crotch? That seems like a joke
Eastern
that if you wrote
Bloc.
that, how does that make it out of a first draft? How is that anything other than an improvised line? And how does it make it into the film?
I don't know.
Anyhow.
We should try to get Sandman on the pod.
That would be the one. If I ever had a second to speak to Adam Sandler, I would say, explain communism tight crotch.
I think he would literally be like, I don't know what you're
know
talking about, man. Yeah.
No, he would own me. He would troll me with that for sure.
I had like 5 things.
So anyway.
Oh, Grandma's Boy.
Oh, here we go.
Nick Swardson's in that.
You do love a good Swardson.
You know, am I Swardson? I was saying swordsman. Swardson, Nick Swardson.
Was it communism tight crotch?
Yeah.
Swardson?
Communism tight crotch.
That's the name of our...
I love the movie Grandma's Boy, and you said it was bad.
Well, I only saw the first act, and it felt...
Well, that's your
felt
fault.
like a problem.
Okay, you'll watch the fucking Zohan, and you won't watch this movie that I'm telling you is funny?
To even compare those two
it's
is
unexpected.
an embarrassment.
Well, it's a Happy Madison.
I mean, it is... No, it's Happy... I mean, yes,
I know, but you're being like, to compare... It's like I'm comparing...
Well, Zohan has cultural significance at a level that is hard for me to even unpack right now. We would need to do a whole episode. There's so much more I want to say.
That is not even like top 10 Sandler movies.
How long could you go on Grandma's Boy for real?
How long could I go?
I could do
What you
3.5 hours on Zohan right now.
Oh, so you're judging how good a film is by how much bullshit you can talk about it?
How much conversation?
I think the
How much
conversation you
monologuing?
can have about that is because it takes place like at a real like world conflict. It's not
Correct.
because it's like a good movie.
No, it's actually the opposite. I hear what you mean. There's no doubt that
Grandma's Boy
is funnier.
is
Grandma's
about
Boy's a better movie.
the intergenerational connectivity that we're lacking currently in our society, and that is the traditional bedrock of healthy community.
That's a strong thesis.
That was like what, 8 seconds?
Yep. So
Okay. All right.
Go on.
You win this round.
Say more.
I have more stuff. Can I read it?
Sure. I have a recurring segment that I didn't even realize I keep doing this, but
Okay. What is it?
it's very short, so we don't even
Go
really need
ahead.
to say much about it. Just a commercial. I always talk about commercials I've seen. I've noticed that.
Oh, okay.
It's football season. I'm watching more commercials than I want to be or that I
Right.
usually
Right.
am.
That you are getting that cable business.
There was a very funny commercial, a DayQuil spot, and it's for a product that's called, I don't know the exact name, but I think it's like DayQuil Extreme Flu. And it got me to heighten. It said,
Extreme.
power through your flu. It's like this medicine where this guy's literally like, I have 102 fever. I'm hacking. I'm sweating. I'm under a blanket on the couch. And the wife's like, hey, man, like, I don't know what he's got to get. You got to get your ass to work is what I thought. And I'm like, why are you at that point? Just rest, brother. Just lay down and
But they're
rest
not
for
going
a
to tell you to rest.
Well, I know that's what I'm
Because
saying.
they don't
This
make
is
any
for
money
people
when
who
you rest.
No one can rest. It just again, everything's heightened. We all know that, but this was like called like DayQuil Extreme. Your dying flu. Chug some of this. Get your ass up.
It's like
He jumps off the
DayQuil
couch.
cog in the machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go serve your masters. Take this DayQuil. Get out the door. So anyway, that was just at a level where I was
He
like,
like cuts his hand off down at the plant. He's like,
Yes.
thanks, DayQuil.
that's right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is in this too? Like, at what point? How do you
Extreme
get to the
flu.
extreme? It's probably just 900 milligrams of Tylenol and like some shitty
Some upper,
expectorant to
pseudoephedrine.
Yeah, something to just get your cough down, to choke your cough down for 8 hours so you can get the fuck in there and then get home. I mean,
That's really depressing.
it's a lot.
I
Yeah.
remember there was a car commercial a couple of years ago where a guy was like, I take pride in like hard work, but it was the same kind of thing where it was kind of like, it could be satire as well, but wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we work harder. We don't like to take days off. Like it was like this American man
Yes.
ideal. But even the dialogue was literally like, I don't see my family. I work and work and work. And this is the truck for me. And it was like,
Yes.
ugh.
Yeah.
Like you're just saying it out loud.
Out loud.
It was so sad.
We've reached a level where, yeah, it is kind of the commercial parody thing where it's like, yeah, I think SNL did one that I actually really liked with Jack Black that I caught on the thumbnail of on the internet, but it was the Flaming Hot Cheetos like Preparation H thing, where it was like getting to the point where he's like stuff a bunch of red hot like up my asshole, and it just blew out. I mean, it was, and Chester Cheetahs and everything. Like, I don't think this is safe. It was funny.
Right.
But that feels to me like now
The
we're at extreme flu
heightened,
level
yeah.
where it's just like I'm dying of cancer, and it's like DayQuil.
Yeah.
DayQuil. What would you call
They're
it?
going to be like long
Cancer
COVID meth.
Yes.
And you're like,
And you're
great.
just yes, a
I
suppository
can still
that
work.
gets you out the door.
I'm glad you brought up SNL because I
Thank
have
you.
a very untimely gripe that I need to discuss
Please.
about SNL.
We have a lot of untimely gripes on this program.
That is what we should have called this program.
Untimely gripes.
It rolls off the tongue like cavernous sovereignty.
The Cunty Bunch.
The cunty bunch. Okay, Justin Timberlake on SNL.
J. Tim on SNL. Yes, topical, important now. Let's talk.
Hate it. Hate him and hate it.
Hated it.
I'm a hater. Hated it because
Yes.
there's this thing that happens with like loser white dudes who I already don't like.
Yes.
Where
and
they
are
get
prominently featured on SNL.
who are
often.
not comedians,
Yeah.
but they get adopted by like the broy SNL comedian. And they get kind of like buoyed up, and everybody's like, God, he's so funny. Oh, he's so funny.
Yes.
And then that person who's like a massive insecure loser feels really cool because they're like in with the cool kids, which is SNL, which is already brutal in its own way. And then he's like, oh, I'm like spitballing with Samberg, and you're like,
Sandman.
No, and he had.
We all love Sandman, but Sandman,
who's
basically Sandman.
I don't want to
Jr.
be a hater. Samberg's fine.
Sure. But I know what you mean.
There's this thing where it has this cultural cachet where everyone's aunt is on Facebook being like, it's a riot.
He can dance,
he's sexy,
sing, and make me laugh.
Literally. And that's the problem. They're like, triple threat. And you're like, this is a husk of a human being. This is a child star who has hot Cheetos up their ass. And threw Brittany under the bus. Big time threw Brittany under the bus.
And threw Janet under the bus first. Janet under the bus.
I have massive... Yes, you're right. I'm glad that you're bringing this up because I'm just going to sound like I'm a dick that I don't... They're like, what's wrong with Timberlake?
What's up with JT?
Okay. I have a lot of issues with him. The like most benign is like that everyone's like, he's the next Michael Jackson of dancing, which don't get me started on Michael Jackson, obviously. But they was getting all this credit when there's all these like amazing dancers and artists, and it was very just like, this is gross.
Yeah.
And then he was so fucking shitty about Britney Spears, and I never forgot. I'm just gonna go. I'm a Scorpio. I forgive, but I don't forget, and I also don't forgive. And I will never forget that. No, but there's things like that. Yeah. It's not. It's very specific things where somebody's really has a moment where they could really be a class act, and they could use their like status to. You know what I'm saying? Take care of someone else, and they just shit on them, and I will never forgive him for that.
Right.
And then you're exactly right to bring up the Janet, which I had forgotten.
Also a very
she becomes
easy
this
way,
this prostitute in the like media. Like I am so angry.
What I would want to say
to
Timberlake's handlers at that moment too, is you'd be like, so they're looking into the future. They're already like, oh, in 8 years he's going to be an SNL darling, so we need him to have distance from this nipple that was on TV. What's funny to me is it's like
distance from this nipple. No, you're right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Like
America saw it. This was during the Super Bowl. It was a nipple. My God, in heaven.
But they're mad at her for having breasts. Sure. And I'm like, okay, maybe it was a malfunction. I don't believe that. Oh, okay. Sure, Steel's just melting now.
It was supposed to be a pasty.
Yeah, like, no, but I'm like, but then I'm like,
don't
to not
at
least equally morally blame, which nobody should be morally blamed, but I'm saying the guy who exposed it versus the person who had it, like, that's really just obviously
that was a microcosm.
Nasty.
Yeah.
It's like blaming fucking Monica Lewinsky for like,
which we did,
getting a cigar in her cooter and not even mentioning the person who smoked that
cigar after who inserted it and then
tastes
smoked
good.
it.
Do you remember that?
Sure do.
I just
was
puked
there.
in my mouth.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, the details that come out from that were enough to be like,
that's really infuriating.
Agreed. And those
I get you're saying it's the handler's fault, and I'm saying no.
I'm not
he's famous enough that he doesn't have to be a piece of shit.
Well, so here's what I was saying. If the handlers, now they weren't wrong, he blew up. He was SNL darling.
No, you're right. It pays to be a piece of shit.
But I wonder, I would challenge that to say, truly, if he just said what we just said, where he was like, fuck it, man. I don't know. It was a mouthful. And also, so a woman has a breast and a nipple. If he said that in his own Timberlake way, which I think if that happened 10 years later, he may have. Not that he's a piece of shit, but I'm saying he would have read the room.
There's a calculation.
Well,
he
where
could go,
like,
it's a tit, man, and everyone would be like, free the nipple,
oh,
JT.
You're right, JT.
And Samberg just like starts blowing him.
Yeah, it's my nip in a box. Yeah, then
it's my nip in a box.
This is the butterfly effect. Then there's the song. If he did that, then the future has nip in a box, not dick in a box.
Was he? I don't think he was dick in a box.
Was he not?
No, I thought dick in the box was just, what are they called? Lonely Island.
Lonely Island. Now, see, what's funny is
he was this terrible thing.
Yeah.
That the reason this all is even on my list,
right,
is that this is infuriating to me. How things are in your brain and you don't want them to be.
Correct.
Like lyrics to bad songs, etc. I was just going about my day, and I had the "Come on down to me." I don't even know what he says, but he plays this. He's wearing the sandwich board. He's like doing promotion for a business. This is a recurring
an SNL sketch.
Justin Timberlake SNL bit.
Okay.
And he would come even when he wasn't the guest, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, Timberlake's here," and they'd all be like high five. It's barf.
Yeah.
But he says this thing where he's like, "Come on down to me." The listeners will know what I mean.
What's funny is I'm looking blankly because
you don't know what I mean.
Well, strangely enough, for SNL, that was the era that I just dipped out for a long time. So
Okay,
I
but I
thankfully
wasn't
missed.
dipped in. This is like so culturally important
Right.
that I couldn't
By
avoid
dipped out,
it.
I mean on a lot of heroin, maybe. Like that might have been because when was
okay.
this? Early aughts?
Oh, we're pulling the heroin card.
brother.
Here we go.
I just mean I was dipped out enough. This was like the internet sketches. Lonely
think-
Island was a period I got off the train on Faye and Fallon, like kind of late 90s, I think high school
Okay,
for
yeah.
us.
Okay, we're talking about Weekend
Eras.
Update as like the era. Okay.
We're just thinking of it in those
so
terms.
you did Miller. I'm going back.
Oh, going way back. Yeah. Chevy, Curtin, Aykroyd. Yes.
You did Colin Quinn. That was a weird one. That was after
Of
Nealon.
course. Norm, of course.
Who that guy, God bless, cannot read a teleprompter.
Who's that?
Quinn?
Colin Quinn. He struggled
That was like
with
maybe
teleprompter.
one of the worst.
You're right. Because his jokes, like as far as a comedian, I liked his POV more than a lot of the people who did that. But you're right. As a performer, he struggled.
No, I love Colin Quinn.
Yes.
Put me on record.
Yes.
But he can't read a
Yes.
teleprompter.
Kevin Nealon, Norm.
Norm, come on. I think Norm's the best.
Yes. What other? But these are all eras where I watched Weekend Update, but also watched the show a
Well,
fair
I know.
amount.
I'm using Weekend
Yes.
Update to date the show
Sure.
era.
And then we get into
Faye.
after Dennis Miller you mentioned.
That
yes,
was early
that era,
on.
That was
though.
early.
Seth Meyers.
It was Seth and Tina, or Seth and Amy. It was Tina and Jimmy.
Tina and Jimmy. And then there was Faye and Polar,
Faye and Polar.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was like a power era.
That's right.
Amy's rap about as Sarah Palin as the bear.
Yes. See all this. I
Pregnant,
remember.
9 months pregnant. Yeah, that was incredible.
I think during Samberg Lonely Island phase, when the internet sketches started to blow up.
Okay, that's when you.
I was just not around for that. I think I got off probably, which means that was
Interesting.
probably Amy and Tina.
See, I feel like
Era.
I feel like that was my understanding of your drug history. That
was a little
That was
later.
a little later, but I think that's okay. You
Either
didn't watch.
way, I was
That's okay.
off that train for a little while, and I wasn't on the internet for when
Stop
those Lonely
that
Island-
train.
I wanna get off. I did one.
Doing.
Well, of course, it's like the
Drugs.
cliche of bitching about SNL being toothless and whatever, but we all still watched it for a while.
Yeah.
But now I also am back off. We went back on for a little stretch when some of our buddies were writing for it and made
And
it
it
on.
still
like,
are.
They are, but I meant like in maybe 10 years ago when there was that wave of a lot of our generation of people.
I think
were
if you're
writing and
looking to
performing
SNL for like biting cultural commentary, you're always going to be upset.
True.
But there are eras where stuff's funny and there's stuff where there's not. And there's so many talented people who work there. And I
And I
don't
think there's some
they're getting all their stuff on.
No, no, certainly not. We know that firsthand.
Yeah, well,
A
don't
lot of
kiss and
West
tell.
Coast. No, but yes, we know a lot of the.
I kissed Lorne.
I kissed Lauren, and I'm telling.
And I'm telling the world.
Come back here with my kiss.
Was that a Lorne?
No. I refuse to even suggest that it was.
All right,
Anyhow,
so you missed the Timberlake fiasco.
I happened to miss that era, but I know he was like a darling.
No,
for
I
it.
have
He was
to
the
look up if he was
obviously the
Dick in a
musical guest
box.
and the host. He was doing the
my
double
dick in a
duty.
box.
Dick in a box. I thought he was a part of that.
Now I'm like,
How could he not be?
Dick in a box. Hold on. Oh, I'm getting some weird images.
Okay.
No,
You're,
Dick in a
you're
box.
right to Pornhub.
I'm looking.
You're always one
Lonely
click away.
Island. Yeah, I don't think
All right, maybe he wasn't a part of Dick in the Box then.
Dick in a. Oh, it's Wikipedia. Hold on. Dick in a Box.
Citation,
Is a song
please.
by the American comedy group The Lonely Island featuring American singer-songwriter Justin Timberlake. I'm sorry about that. I, for some reason, thought that they had a few singing ones without like a professional
Yeah, they had the Narnia
musician.
was the big one with
Yeah.
Parnell.
That
I
was the
remember.
first one.
Yes, and again, I missed these, but I it was enough that I'm like, I know that was a thing. for a
It
while.
leaks
I
into
wasn't
the
watching
ether of
program.
the yeah. Right.
Also, I wanted to say too, just credit where credit's due. Sometimes SNL does get, when they have a good wave of writers that get the cultural critique and some cultural
Yeah,
I didn't say hit on.
like,
It's the political where they've been
obviously-
toothless for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
But the cultural stuff, they sometimes will have weird, fun parodies.
I mean, they
and-
literally had Elon on. Like, we can't give them any credit whatsoever.
True.
But I agree, there's some cultural cachet there
Yeah.
that just won't go away.
Truth. But then they had the
Truth.
great, there was the great, the
word-
great Kate McKinnon doing her Hillary Hallelujah bit, which was.
I don't.
let's talk about
I
that
don't want to
era.
talk badly about Kate, but that was terrible.
I mean, that was beyond cringe, sure.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that kind of stuff too. There was like
Kate's
"To
she's
Sir
a
with
nice
Love."
person.
They
Yeah,
sang to Obama
funny.
on his way out. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Again, you obviously are going to be politically toothless if you're suckling at any teats. You need to just be like these earnest
But show
musical
me
numbers
a
to politicians
mainstream
is kind of
entertainment
True.
outfit, and
but
and
even
I'll
they
show you a
weren't.
teat, you know,
and I'll suckle it.
and you'll rip my shirt off, and my teat will fall out, and it's the Super Bowl, and I'm a whore. All right, I just want to read one sentence.
Please do.
The word "dick" was bleeped 16 times following an agreement with the Federal Communications Commission.
Sure, they bleep dick out.
Yeah,
So that's the kind of strength we're dealing with.
strong.
Strong dicks.
All right, so I just had to go off on JT.
No, J-Tim, I think
And
you're
now
right.
he's like really a husk, and no one's going to his concerts. And he there's always rumors that he's cheating on his wife, which again, I'm not going to forget that.
Wait, wasn't there a really weird video that came out from him on his
Yeah.
concert? What am I thinking of?
Yeah, he was like.
Is this Mandela effect?
No, he was zooted and like sad. It was like the kind of sad man. And then he like looks up and is like, dance, monkey dance, And then he has to be like,
Yes.
hey, fans. And then he got a DUI. He just had a rough stretch,
Sure.
which I want to be empathetic, but I'm not.
Well, no, not to him. No, he's got.
Not to
he doesn't
him.
need he doesn't need your empathy.
No, he's got millions. Go buy some
doesn't need
empathy
your
at the
nipples.
store. You'll need this empathy on your way to hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pushes him out the window.
That's a quote from one of our faves,
One of our all-time faves,
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
Prince of Thieves.
in which Costner does a Southern accent playing an Englishman.
Tien Minh. Yeah, he does a speech that he was apparently very upset that
Yes.
they used.
He
He was like, I thought that was a rehearsal.
he
And,
said
like,
he thought it was a dress rehearsal.
To which I would say, Kevin, you're being paid a fair amount as an actor. You should have showed up to set knowing what accent you were going to do. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause being like, I thought that was a rehearsal. I'm like, you thought they were burning fucking money like that? You're just on set, like in the treehouse, being like, here's everyone's gathered around in costume. We've got cameras. Like, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
anyone who's ever been on a
it's-
set, you
no,
did
and you're shooting
bullshit.
on film in a forest, and
Yes.
you don't think they're going to
You're like,
use
I
that
thought this was
take?
Tin Cup, and I was like doing
Yeah.
a little Texas
Well,
drawl.
He had a moment where he was doing like 15 movies a year, so
I mean, fair, but his buttocks in that.
his buttocks look really nice.
See, that's so funny. You're part of the. I never understood.
You don't like his
Kevin
buttocks
Costner
in
as
that movie? Wait, can I
I
do
don't
one
care
more
for
Southern
his
line?
fucking cream of wheat buttocks any more than my own.
Well, that wasn't for you.
No,
Not
but who
everything's
was it?
for you.
What?
It was for the moms.
So
So
why
I was
are
in
you
fifth
coming
grade
around?
when
You're a mom.
well, I like it now.
You didn't care for. I mean,
in
he wasn't a
fifth
sex
grade,
symbol
I
to
was
you
like,
in fifth
oh,
grade.
butts.
Right, but
now
let's say
I'm
at
like,
16, were you like, ooh, the new Costner movie? Like, did you think of him as a sex symbol? Because they tried to push him as a sex symbol. As an everyman
I think
sex
he's
symbol.
handsome, but yeah, I was never like, he's really sexy.
He's like dad next door sexy.
Yeah, he's like wholesome and
What I like about him is he was still of an
Fine. He's
era
fine.
where the sex symbols weren't like AI Glenn
they could have like
Powell.
thinning hair and like bad accents.
Yeah,
and we were like,
and they
fine
weren't
with
really muscular. They just weren't total schlubs.
But Robin, they've taken everything we have. And he goes, then by God, we take it back. That is literally how he talks in that movie. And he's
Yeah.
supposed to be like English.
He's supposed to be English. That's right.
like English.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Fuck me, cleared it.
I know. I mean, Christian Slater's bringing
Slater
it.
brings it.
Remember, everything I do, I do it for you. Brian Williams.
Brian Williams.
Brian Adams.
NBC News. Brian Williams.
Brian Adams
NBC Nightly News
had
is-
the
yes.
track.
Sure.
The hot track. That was a big song.
I mean, that was a big video. When they would do
Yes.
clips from the movies and the videos.
Remember?
And they would meld two worlds where it was like Brian Williams Adams.
He's in Sherwood Forest.
He's somehow in Sherwood Forest, yeah. He's like, no one told me you were filming this. I wasn't sure that this was.
love
I thought this was a dress rehearsal for the
like
for the video.
Yeah. Maid Marian.
Maid
Oh, I love
Marian.
her. It's not dear to me. Well, it is, but I could just
The
quote
Painted
that whole
Man.
film.
That
Hey.
witch was,
The Witch was incredible.
and of course, Mr. Alan Rickman over the top as always, as over the top as he's ever been as the sheriff of Nottingham.
That's like a star-studded.
It's a power cast. I mean, it's no wonder the film did pretty well, I think, at the bottom, despite Kevin Costner doing like a cowboy accent. Well, of course, Morgan Freeman.
I mean, stop.
that's
Incredible.
enough with
He's
this cast.
so good.
Yeah, this cast was powerful.
When he's helping the woman give birth and he's like, I've seen this done once with horses.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
God, that's such a good movie.
It is.
And then he helps her
Allah
and the
likes
baby's breech.
variety is what he says to that
you need
young
to stop
girl.
doing the accents.
But they're all over the place. No one had an
I
accent
know.
that
You're
was
right. And
sensible.
yeah,
then.
I'm doing the Southern.
Anyhow, the
Rickman.
director's cut, if you recall, we got on VHS.
Okay, so I grew up with that movie on VHS. It was one of 4 VHSs in my house.
All right.
We had Tim Burton's Batman, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Bonus 5th was my mom's
Now also-
knee surgery, which the tapes would get moved around, and you'd try to put Who Framed Roger Rabbit on, and you'd be like, "Oh, it's mom's knee again." It was like the
You're like,
laparoscopic.
what is this?
Yeah.
Is this Dip in Toontown? No, it's Mom's knee being
So
operated
I
on.
know that movie backwards and forwards is my point.
Yes.
And Murph knew it pretty well too. We're talking Robin and Prince of Thieves now.
Yes.
So as adults, we rewatched together. We were at our apartment on 14th Street, right, in Brooklyn.
We were.
Okay.
And I think actually we do have the VHS, but I think the way we watched this was there was a director's cut available on like.
But you're spoiled. We didn't know it was the director's
No,
cut.
we didn't.
That's the
No,
whole
you're right.
thing.
You're right. We just started watching.
We were just watching it.
We were just watching it, and it turned out we started being like, wait, what is this scene?
And we're like, I don't remember this.
And there's a whole like
thing with the witch.
you could
and
say was the Epstein of its time. There was a
Yeah.
cabal of the. I mean, there was like a cabal
they were
of
meeting
the
up like the
wealthy
European
power
leaders.
players. The dark priests, the sheriffs of
There was like a satanic kind of witchy,
it was a QAnon
yeah,
narrative for sure
Interesting.
of the time. And then the
Right.
because there was witchcraft involved. They were like, how do we, work? But this whole B plot of this underground, it actually made more sense because
It
they left some
explained the
scenes
witch
in.
better, yeah.
Yes,
No.
of the theatrical release that you'd be like, that was a little weird, or there was a reference to something from the witch to the
Okay,
sheriff
but
that
we're
I
feeling
didn't
like
get.
this is a little different. We're both saying that. We're like, whoa, memory is a weird thing. I
That's
really
right.
thought I knew this movie until something undeniable took place.
That we're like, yes, this is definitely a different cut of this. Is that there's a
Hole.
POV shot. There's a hole where the witch has been
Watches
spying
Rickman.
on the sheriff in his room or in his somewhere. She's been spying on him. So he finds this little. He thinks there's this. He's like, what is this little hole here? And he pokes his finger into it to be like, did someone drill a hole in the mantle here or something that they're spying on me? And they cut to a POV
Of the
from
finger
of the other side,
coming
from the
through
finger
the
coming
hole.
through into the hole.
And we were like, okay, this is not the film I watched as a child.
Yes, I would.
And then we looked it up, and it
and we're
was
like,
a director's cut.
It's a director's cut. And I like it because it's really only maybe an added maybe 16 extra minutes aside from the finger poke. But there's like multiple scenes that flesh out the whole witch
I
sheriff
love the
subplot.
the dark.
The dark arts.
Yeah, I loved that.
No, he's having like a weird orgy, and he's like, "Bring me in the body of something." And they like do a
and
sacrificial
they cut all
thing.
that.
Anyhow, that film, spectacular.
That whole cast is
Really
so good.
spectacular.
But yeah,
But all that is to say,
Costner could not pull it together for the accent.
Friar Tuck at one point says, "Here's to the priest who has been compromised." He gives him the gold pieces.
Oh, thank you for getting us back.
That's right. We're coming back to your on your
They're
way
up,
to
they're
hell.
Up, they're up in a high tower.
Yeah.
And he's giving the
All the
priest
gold that he's been
all the
bribed
silver
with.
and gold. Yeah. And he's like, oh, thank you. And
he
he's
knows
like,
something's
you're going to need this to pay the devil on your way to hell. And he throws him out the window, and the priest flies backwards.
And then it
like,
goes, "Your love is my love,"
That's
or
not the
whatever the
words.
lyric is. Everything I
There's
do.
no love
Like your love.
No, but the priest, falls to his death, slams
Mm-hmm.
down his back, but the coins squirt out, and all the people who have been kept in poverty by their rich overlords come over and start pulling
Yes.
at the money.
And Friar Tuck takes a nice slug of ale because Tuck was a drunk.
Yeah, he was.
So he takes a big slug.
He
of
was
the
like a
ale and
good.
he's like smirks out the window, and then he puts his dick in that hole.
Oh my God!
And you see
me.
the POV of that tiny glory hole.
Yeah, that's a brilliant film. Whoever is looking
really
for
is.
something to watch.
So that was a nice extra movie review. We thought we were just going to do Zohan, but because of your little tangent there, I had to give it context. So now we've gotten into Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I appreciate that.
I
Pay
appreciate
the devil
you.
on your way to hell. Did anything happen in the news this week? Because we've been very, very talking about a long time ago.
Yeah, let's see this week. Oh yeah, here's some news.
Oh my God.
I saw a thing from Backstage, which is the actors trade, but they use it as a casting.
I didn't think
notices
anyone
and
read
stuff.
that.
I
read
don't.
that?
I saw a headline of a clip of a thumbnail. But
Okay.
it was basically just. I think through Facebook I somehow got like looped in, so now I just see their shit. Anyway, it was a casting call for a Snoop Dogg, the voice of a Snoop Dogg video game. That's like somehow like baseball. Like the only context I got
Is
was
he a ball player?
he's not a ball player. He coaches football, I think.
Okay.
Like high school football maybe, or
Right.
his son is on a football. I forget.
Yeah, I've just never heard about him like being a baseball fan either. Is he?
Right. This might have been I mean, it obviously has minimal info. It's one of those where you'd obviously sign a DNA. I was going to say a NDA, and give your DNA, and then get an mRNA vax, and then you can be in this video game where you voice a young Snoop Dogg.
Cool.
But I'm just saying it was like $500, and it was clearly
$500.
$500. It was a non-union
my God.
call, and none of this is like, oh my God, how are they not? But I'm like,
No,
Snoop,
that's crazy.
to voice a young Snoop Dogg for a video game that's going to come out, we're in perpetuity.
Gonna make just millions.
Yeah, and they're asking, like, I saw the file specs and everything to do VO.
And in the old
like, to do
days, this would have been
submit.
union session fee. You're getting re-upped every.
Yes. Now
end
the
of
video game space was always tricky. SAG's always late to the
They
party.
try to do it
So
under new media.
Yeah, it took a while for them to catch up to that, and now I think they're already blown through it because they're just doing a ton of non-union stuff
500
now,
is
but
like shocking though.
very shocking. I mean, even just for my session fee and usage before the new contract, when I was in Red Dead 2, doing
Yeah,
all of the
right.
physical part of it and everything for my character.
What was
in
your
that.
name of the character?
I forget the damn character's name, but it was just a mustachioed man in the open world of Red Dead 2. He wasn't in the main story.
You'd be
but
like, well, we gotta go. Speaking of accents, it was really good. You were
Yes.
very gruff.
Very gruff. They asked me to go super gruff. But what's funny about for the Rockstar games, for GTA and for all, I think a lot of the video games do this now too, but the ones where they're using facial capture, so you have to sit there and do all, like, it's like 10 minutes of
You were in the
different
suit,
faces,
right?
and in the full physical suit where you walk around in the green screen studio where they're like, now you have to push this gate open. So they had like physical things you would be pushing, so that then when you see the scenes play out in the game, you're like,
They're stealing
this
your
was
body.
stealing the soul. I mean, it really feels like you're giving them
This
a full
is the suit where you're like green screen, but there's like ping pong balls
balls.
almost
Yes,
doing
yep,
motion
it's
capture.
the full motion
right.
capture
Mocap.
So you do the physical, which for me was the heavy lifting. But then you get to sit down and they have a tight camera on your face. It's like $50K.
And you just like
high
joke
res,
her out.
and you
doing
joke her
every
out.
emotion.
Yeah, you do the Manson
Yes.
of that famous Manson interview where he just starts doing.
I'm nobody.
No, I'm nobody.
I'm nobody.
I'm nobody. Boxcar and a jug of wine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when
We're covering a lot of ground today.
all those faces they have you do so that they'll use, on
Mm-hmm.
your character. And it did look like me. It looked like an old version of me, lumbering around.
You've grown into that
Yes.
character. Now you're the same age.
Now I'm basically the same age. But they own, they have that forever. My point is, even that, it ended up at the end of the day, it was a 2-session situation, but the session fees were higher than like commercial. Might have been like $800 or something, and plus buyouts for perpetuity, which was still not a good contract because you don't get paid.
Right.
That game's going to exist forever in the open world. People
We're gonna
still love
live
playing them.
forever. Yeah.
People still will randomly text me and be like,
Yo,
wait,
dude, you in Red Dead?
yes. But when they knew I was there, they found me.
And you're
finally
like,
in
if
the
you
open
want to
world.
keep playing, Venmo me $5.
Yes, please. Please. My residuals need to be crowdsourced. That's how this works.
But you're saying you probably got a couple grand from that.
yes,
And
we're now. I'm
somebody's
like
now voicing Young
voice
Snoop
of Young
for 500
500 flat.
period.
That's it.
It's so sad too because people are so desperate that somebody's going to do that.
Sure.
This is a
Sure.
terrible
Well, you're doing like a big,
turn of
large
events.
nationwide casting call for.
Big
you know.
and large. Yeah.
Anyhow, that was something I saw in the news.
Interesting. MTG left Congress, right?
That's correct. MTG's gone.
She's going to run for prez.
I would say she's going to get a team together to start doing an exploratory
Well, because she's
to see if she should run
MAGA,
in 20.
but
Pure MAGA.
yeah, but
America
but
first.
anti-war, and I know that's wishy-washy nothingness, but she did hear her constituents not wanting to lose their health care.
Correct.
So she's like making small concessions against Trump. Obviously, he called her whatever. But I do think that there's actually a void there that needs to be filled, where someone like takes on the MAGA.
Yeah, the America First mantle.
Yes, but is actually performing like a little bit more
Yes,
for people.
for people.
Like I'm just saying I
hear what
think
you're
she
saying.
has
Yes.
like a
well,
potential there.
basically because obviously that's what Trump like ran on and lied to people, and clearly was a grift at the time. But for the people who bought it, ran on in 2016 for sure, and really tried again with 2020 of we're going to take all the money that we're wasting on these meddling in these foreign wars, and we're
Yeah.
going to deal with the affordability or whatever.
He's like groceries. That's a weird word.
Groceries.
He always says that's a weird word.
He does. He's
like it's old fashioned. I'm like, dude, everyone else says that word all the time.
Well, and also, yeah, you haven't shopped for groceries.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Since
but it's funny
1977.
that he thinks that's relatable to big groceries.
It is funny. And that's the way to kind of get off topic there. But yeah, I think that someone committing. What's funny about MTG is when you really hear she's anti-war, she's anti-certain wars, she's anti
Right.
some of these wars, and it's the same with like healthcare. It's like when you really get to the bottom of
Well,
like
she's
what
not
are you,
actually saying anything.
no, and she's not down for Medicare for all.
But there's
She's
a lane there.
There is a lane. There's a
Where
lane to
she's
basically be like,
giving
hey, all
lip
the shit
service,
that these people voted for Trump on, I'm saying he's not delivering on, and I'm going to now take.
She's
the
a tough one too because obviously she's a mess, and I'm
A
not,
loon, a
I'm
bit
not-
of a loon.
She's a loon, but she'll say something like, "I don't think we should be giving Israel all our money," and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Okay," and then she'll say, "And Blue MAGA is controlling the weather,"
That's correct.
and you'll be like,
You'll be like,
"Wow,
Tough to
hard
parse.
hard to put people in a box these
tough
days.
to parse.
That's why we should put everyone in a box and throw that box into the ocean.
That's right. And the the horseshoe insanity. At this point, you get takes like prominent takes online of people being like, there should be an AOC MTG ticket. You're just like, people's brains have melted to mush. Like I think that the idea of like that, what that actually, and then Mom Donnie coming into the White House.
I was just going to say that's a news item.
It's
Handled very well.
It'll be interesting to see the fallout of when it actually did break, because enough people's brains have broken. There's enough black-pilled people who are just like, we already, would only drum up, half of the people are voting and engaged in that anyway. The other half either are in situations where they couldn't possibly care because they can't put food on the table, or they are realized, oh yeah, this is all kind of a sham.
Well, what
Red
is
team,
it?
blue team.
2/3.
I did a little bit of the red team. I did a little bit of the blue team, and now I'm done.
2/3 of people who are eligible to vote in our country vote.
That's right.
So you always say this, but when the news says, well, this is so crazy, basically half the country, popular vote-wise, voted for this, and half the country voted for this, that's very disingenuous.
I mean,
so many
yes.
people at this point are like, this is all garbage.
And what the media elites would say to that, which I've heard them say, is of course like someone like a Bill Maher, Mr. Maher would say,
God.
yeah,
Don't get me started.
That's their fault. Like they need to be discounted. Like if they're not going to come and vote, then like, yeah, we dismiss, like any conversation is the people who are actually coming and voting. Those are the real Americans. You're like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, anyhow,
Wow.
it usually is
Yeah.
like half, doesn't. I think now Trump, like with everything, he brings the eyeballs, he brings the ratings. He's big on ratings. So people started, like the Romney-Obama election, I think was half just didn't even vote.
Half.
I think half the country didn't vote during it. I mean, we'll save that for next week's segment.
In errata.
In errata.
It'll be like, no, 200% of people voted.
Anyhow, yeah.
Right.
It ebbs and flows. The last couple, there have been more people, but there still is so many people who are like, are we going to still pretend with this? So it's interesting to see now. But AOC MTG as a ticket is...
AOC talking about MTG.
Simple.
Mom Donnie, AOC, MTG, baby, you and me. That's nice.
That's very nice.
That was pretty.
Yes.
Okay, we're well over an hour.
Are we?
Yeah.
We are.
Anything happen in the news this week?
Yeah.
MTG's leaving Congress.
No.
We're kidding, guys. We're not. We know that we already said that.
Just one big headline is an exclusive. This is it. I'll just end on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Exclusive from Fox News. FBI concludes Trump shooter Thomas Crooks acted alone after unprecedented global investigation. Done and done.
Wow. I love that. That's like that famous New York Times headline that's like CIA performs...
yes.
You know, like audit of itself, finds no wrongdoing or something. Yep. Yeah, you're
that's
like,
it.
okay, well, that's great.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
It's good to know.
Peace
Because there were some murmurs, if you recall, probably from either our episode or Tucker's episode. Who knows which one actually got them
Don't compare us to Tucker.
I'm just saying in terms of reach.
Also incomparable.
Incomparable, but I just mean that's my joke.
No, I like that.
But
joke.
there was some murmuring, so now they just made sure to come out and be like, "All right, by the way, that's been solved.
Right,
moving on."
Should we get a sign outside? Crooks Files now.
Crooks Files now. Yes, I think we should be a sign that's two-sided, so we can
What's on
pivot.
the other side?
Well, Epstein not now. And
we
then
don't need to
flip
do Epstein. We have Epstein across the street.
That's right. Crooks Files now. We should do. He'll appreciate it. Our neighbor will appreciate that. That's where you find where the real divisions are. You're like neighbors, but it's like we're polar opposites. We're so politically divided at this moment. There's Epstein Files now, people out here, and there's Crooks Files now, people out here. If you don't fall on either of those lines,
yeah, pick a side.
Pick a side.
Someone's like, I'll just stay in the middle of the street.
I'll just wait for a truck to run me.
Yes, exactly. Take me now, God.
All right. I'll talk to you in a week.
Love you, darling.
Love you, dear.
Happy harvest.
Take good care.